Hey guys, how are y'all doing? This is Dan. Today is Sunday, June the 14th, 2020. It's about 7:30 p.m. It is 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside. The heat index is the same and the humidity is 40%. It feels more humid than this, so it's probably the bee suit. But anyway, this is the hive that was starving. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I've been feeding them and we're going to see what they're doing, if anything. Okay, I've already taken off my strap. Wow. Okay, I've got an internal top feeder in here. Let me show you all that. Okay, you can see that no bees have drowned. I got this from Glory Bee, and it actually holds a gallon and a half. So what you call it? The one thing about these is you do get some residue down there. That, oops, sorry, that's where I'm pointing. They don't, they're not able to get access to all of it, but that's okay. It holds a gallon and a half. So what you call it? I put this back here, and I've brought some more sugar syrup with me in case we need to give them more. But let's see what they've stored. All right, so I'm gonna do this here, and I'm actually gonna just a tad. All right. Okay. Let's see what you're seeing there. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up. I don't see a queen under there, so I'm actually gonna set that right there. Don't want to smash anybody. There we go. Okay, good deal. Still got a lot of bees in there. Let's shine this down here so y'all can see. You can see right there. All right, now I condensed this down to 8 frames. It was a double deep, and we're going to see what's going on. We put this back. I'll stick that like that right there. Okay, I like my Beetle blasters, and what I do with these, I run this over that. I just smashed one. I saw one. They like to hide under these things. Beetle blasters work very well. Just want to make sure there isn't a bee under there. Propolize this. Sorry, ladies. All right. That's working. Okay, I like corn oil in mine. Okay. Some people say corn oil attracts beetles. Well, good. I wanted to. But whatchamacallit? Set that right there. So let's see what we have here. Sorry, ladies. All right, I know I'm disturbing y'all. It's just been hot. Got these propolized. That's good. Watch your heads there, girls. They're all in between there looking up at me. All their little heads. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see what we got. Or what we have. Okay. Got some weight on this. All right, that's full of nectar. Okay. Not much going on this side right here. That's all right. If you look here, they're filling that up with nectar. A little bit closer. So all that shiny stuff is nectar. So we'll set this here. bees. Oh yeah, suckers. Heavy. Oh, almost smashed one. All right, I've got nectar. It actually looks more like honey, and they're starting to cap it on top. Okay, if you look there where my thumb is, you can see where they're capping it, starting to cap. All right, and that, to me, that looks thicker. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. You got bee bread and pollen in there. So they're actually doing very well on this frame. See what's on the other side. So this hive was complete. I didn't have any stores whatsoever. I had one cell that I saw with one C-shaped larva in it. All right, so they're doing the same on this side. All right. Put that back the way they had it. So seeing all this in there, that's great. If you have a hive that's starving, you know, something happened to your foragers or what have you, I don't know what happened. They could have been poisoned. They could have been baited and trapped. I have no idea. Oh yeah. All right, this is a foundationless frame. It's an F-style frame from Kelly Bees. You can see the ridge up there. It came like that. And they no longer carry them. When Man Lake bought them out, they stopped carrying these. So all you can get from them now is Man Lake frames. But anyway, isn't that beautiful? You see all the nectar there in the center. Whoop, let me center that there. See all that beautiful nectar. All the pollen and bee bread. Right, so I'm not going to need to put any pollen patties on these babies. Same on the other side. So, this girl's back. And I'll put my frames closer together when I get off the camera and close them up. Let's see here. Actually, that'll go there. Go there. There. All right, always start from the outside and work your way in, okay? You don't want to roll your bees. Don't ever pull a brood frame from the middle. You could roll your queen and kill her that way. All right, let's be gentle pulling them up. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, look at that. From starving and nothing in the frames. If you look at that, the video before last where it says starving beehive, you'll see. Okay, look at all this cap brood there. In those empty spots, you can actually see C-shaped larvae. Well, larvae, plural. Let me see if I can get closer on one. Looks like there's some nectar in the middle too. So they're back filling it. Oh, small hive beetle. Oh well, missed him. All right, there we go. See the C-shaped larvae? Right there in the middle, the little grubs. Okay. So this queen from Pendle apiaries. Oh, there's another small hive beetle. Small hive beetle. Oh, where can you see it? Yeah, you see those suckers? Smash them. All right, she is doing well. So this hive has recovered. I don't see the queen on this side. All right. You see all the brood right there on that side there. Let me move this out. See the pollen, bee bread there, nectar next to it, to the right, well, all around it. So I'm going to put this back the way they had it. So I started feeding these guys sugar syrup. 1 to 1, 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1. It really doesn't seem to matter. Just feed them. Okay, I gave them about 2.5 to 1. And, you know, in my opinion, I'm not an expert, but the thicker the syrup is, the less they have to dehydrate it to store it. Okay, and they store it the same as they do honey. All right, they excrete an enzyme, I forget what it's called, something anhydronate. Nah, anyway, and they treat it the same way they do nectar, and it's anyway. Oh baby, yeah. Okay, a little flighty on here. All right, let's look at this. This is another foundationless frame. There's a, oh, I'm hitting that. There's a bigger shot there. They've actually, looks like they've extended that. You can see all the brood, cap brood right there. You see the C-shaped larvae in the cells. Get closer to that. Okay. That's new comb right there. Well, that's new comb there. But isn't that beautiful? You can always tell which brood was laid last by the lighter color of the cappings. This was laid after those other, the brood in the other frame was laid, because it's not as dirty. The bees walking on the cappings makes them darker. Okay, and all this right here, that's all nectar. Let's flip this around and see if the queen's on this. We got some bee bread in there. That actually looks a little bit like pollen, but and usually with these foundationless frames, what's on one side is exactly what's on the other side, from what I've seen. And that's all brood right there. You got C-shaped larvae mixed in there too. And you got the nectar there. You can see it, yeah. And then you got that strip of bee bread, like we had on the other side. All right. So I'm going to flip this back and put it back in the way they had it. Now, I went ahead and put a bottom board on this hive, a solid bottom board. And I left the entrance reducer out, and I've got a robbing screen on front. So there's plenty of ventilation along the front. Now, we're going to see that obviously something's helping. They're doing very well, but if bees spend less time cooling the hive, they can be more productive. Okay, now most of my hives are screened bottom boards, but I've noticed in the summer that they're working really hard to keep the hives cool. Okay, now bees use a form of evaporative cooling to cool the hive. Okay, they deposit water in different locations within the hive, and then they send a current of air through there, and as the water meets the warm air current, it evaporates and cools the hive. Okay, now with my screened bottom boards, it's harder for them to do that, in my opinion. I'm dripping sweat in there. Oh well, they'll like the salt. Because it's kind of like running the AC with a wall missing, if that makes any sense. So let me hurry up on this so we can close this back up. Got flies buzzing around here. Watch out, babies. Now, I don't need to find the queen. I've got C-shaped, oh, ouch, larvae in there. Okay. All right. Now we look here, and they're capping this honey. You can see that. Yeah, it's and actually now honey, and they're capping it. All right. This thing is full of nectar and honey. All right. Go back there. You can see how the openings are more narrow. All right, let's see what's on the other side here. Did I mention I haven't seen my queen, but that's okay. I've got the larvae in there. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, same on that side. Well, I don't see where they're capping it, but anyway. All full of nectar. I put this back. I've actually got a small hive beetle right there. And I just smashed it. Might have smashed a bee too. All right. Oh, hey. There we go. That nerve speed that I drop's coming up back. Yeah, these suckers are heavy, so I'm gonna bring my feeder inside. Wow, that's solid. Now we should be in the flow. If you see all those flat blooms in the background, all right, that's spotted bee balm, and I forget what that yellow one is down at the left-hand corner. But look at all that bee bread. And look at that capped honey right there. And so you can see where they're capping it also. And there's my queen. See her right there? That is a Cordovan Italian queen from Pendle Apiaries. She's hygienic and she's out of California. And she's doing well. I probably banked her too long. And but she's still laying. I don't see any queen cups or supersedure cells. So I'm definitely taking the feed off these girls, and I'm actually gonna put, I can see that capped honey at the top. I'm gonna put this one in. I don't want to lose my queen. Where is she? There she is. Okay. All right. That other frame, they're filling that up too. I'm not gonna pull it out. So anyway, I'm gonna get a couple. I'm not gonna put my feeder on. Okay, I'm going to take that off. All right, and the reason being is they're filling up every cell with nectar. Okay, the flow's on. You see all this stuff here. And what you call it? You know, we have our native sunflower over there. We have lazy Susans. We have cowpen daisies. Got poke salad. Look at this over here. Look at all those flowers. Okay, there are no longer any blooms on that dewberry. So, I mean, these guys, they're working. All right, so I'm going to put this back here. Now, the reason I'm not going to put my feeder back on or feed them anymore is because they're nectar bound right now. Okay, there's still some empty cells and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and put 2 empty frames in there, and I'm going to checkerboard them. In between the brood frames so that they'll draw them out and give the queen a place to lay. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this hive. It's probably ready for a nut. Well, yeah, it's probably time to put another super on there. But whatchamacallit, I want to see more bee coverage. It's later in the evening. Foragers are coming back, and there's some hive beetles in there. I don't want the hive to be taken over by me doubling the real estate they have to patrol. So, whatchamacallit, and they'll probably consume more once I stop feeding them. So I'll keep a close eye on this. I'll expand the brood nest, and who knows, I may put a super with a couple of frames on top. But anyway, I hope I haven't forgotten to tell y'all anything. And I hope y'all have a good evening. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.